Hey everyone, and welcome to Joy at Work. It's March the 25th, 2022. I hope you're okay, you're staying safe, you're healthy. I hope you're just coping with everything that's going on. The world continues to chug along, and it's World Cup qualifier season right now, men's World Cup qualifier season. So Nigeria takes on Ghana later today. The Super Eagles play the Black Stars in Kumasi. And here's to our Super Eagles winning. And of course, that's why I've got the Nigerian jersey on today. So today I want to continue on the theme of choice and freedom and accountability and joy at work. And last week I talked about the fact that we often have choice, even though we suggest or offer that we don't. Quite often we do have choices. It's just that the alternatives sometimes are unpleasant, and so we don't make certain choices. It doesn't mean the choice wasn't there. It just meant that the outcome or the consequence or the result of the choice wasn't palatable, and so we decided to go in a different way. Now, I want to continue to pull on that thread and bring it when it comes to this thing called joy or joy at work. I find too many people, or I find a lot of people actually, that are dependent on others for them to experience joy at work. Or very often they're pointing at the things that are not being done correctly, the things that are wrong, who's not doing what they need to do, what leaders are not doing, what so and so is not doing, how a teammate's not doing X, Y, Z. And all those things may be true, but I'd offer up that experiencing joy at work is a choice. It's a choice that we are largely accountable for or to. If we want to experience joy at work, then we do things, we go to places, we invest in activities where we can experience joy at work. But if we basically punt and make our joy the responsibility of others around us, then we're more often than not going to be disappointed. And this is just true in life. At any point in your life, when your happiness, when your joy, when whatever it is dependent on what others do, then you've basically given up your own individuality. You've given up your own ability to create the world you want to be a part of. And you're basically said or saying, I'm going to let others create the world and I'm going to exist in it and I'm potentially going to complain about it. And so this is something we see the workplace all the time where people complain a lot about the workplace and then really don't do anything to change their situation at all. And that's something I think needs to be, carefully considered. Once we become accountable, or once we begin to feel accountable to ourselves, for ourselves, about the things that we do, we really begin to take a deeper look at the decisions we're making. Am I in a place where I can experience joy? What can I change to begin to experience joy? And sometimes these questions yield very tough answers. In fact, they're anxiety inducing because what if you take a deep look at your work situation and it becomes very obvious to you that I really can't get much out of this situation. This is not a pleasant situation. Well, what happens then? Well, then you have to make a decision. And so sometimes to avoid anxiety, we don't confront our responsibility. We punt, we deflect, we make it somebody else's responsibility. Because when it's somebody else's responsibility, and no longer my responsibility, well, I don't become anxious anymore. I simply say, I live almost in denial in a way because it's now somebody else's responsibility. It's no longer mine. But the reality is, it is always our responsibility, or at a minimum, we're co creators of our situation. So to deflect, to deny, to bury our head in the sand is a choice, it's an action, but it doesn't take away the fact that we are still the ones doing that. We are part of creating what we're experiencing. So, what am I saying? I'm saying very simply, if you want to experience joy at work, which this channel is about, you have to take the initiative to make it happen. You can't sit back and expect it to happen to you. You have to go and make it happen. You have to play an active role. You need to make choices. You need to make difficult choices. You might need to leave jobs, leave workplaces, have an argument with your man. You might just have to do things that are what one might consider risky, but that's the way we act and create the world we want to be. And that's really the only way you can experience joy at work. So we'll continue to talk about this, and I hope this video will encourage you to take actions that will help you find joy at work. See you next time. Go Super Eagles.